Today we're looking at King Philip's War. Hello, welcome to the Daily Bellringer. Please don't forget to subscribe and take a look at the questions down in the description. In 1662, Metacomet, or as he was called by the English, King Philip, became the chief of the Wampanoag tribe in Massachusetts. Metacomet was the second son of Chief Massasoit, who was the leader of the Wampanoag that negotiated peace with the Pilgrims and participated in the first Thanksgiving at Plymouth. Since Massasoit negotiated that peace agreement back in 1620, there had been peace between English settlers and Native Americans in Massachusetts. However, as more and more Puritans arrived and more Englishmen were wanting land, the relationship between the two had gotten worse and worse. In 1671, colonists met with Metacomet and demanded that he sign another peace agreement. And not only that, but that the Wampanoag also lay down their arms or give over their guns to the English. Surprisingly, Metacomet agreed to this. In 1675, John Sassman, a Native American who had converted to Christianity and had been passing information to the English colonists, was murdered, and 3 Wampanoag warriors were put on trial by the English and then put to death for the murder in Plymouth. Metacomet could not tolerate any more of the English colonist actions, and so on June 24th, 1675, Metacomet ordered an attack on the English settlement of Swansea in southern Massachusetts. Native American warriors attacked and burned the town of Swansea, and in retaliation, the colonists attacked and destroyed the Wampanoag village at Mount Hope in present-day Rhode Island. Unlike previous disagreements or fights between the New England colonists and the Native Americans, this conflict turned into a full-scale war. The New England Confederation, which included the Massachusetts Bay Colony, Plymouth Colony, New Haven Colony, and Connecticut Colony, declared war on the Native Americans on September 9th, 1675. Other Native American tribes in the area joined and fought alongside the Wampanoag. Throughout the summer of 1675, the war went back and forth as Native Americans attacked Massachusetts towns such as Minden, Brookfield, and Lancaster, and then colonists in turn would attack Native American villages. The war itself was extremely violent and actually the bloodiest war in American history in terms of the percentage of the population that was killed in the war. The population of the New England colonies in 1675 was around 80,000, including Native Americans in the region. In the war, over 9,000 were killed, which was over 10% of the total population. Each town had a militia in which all men were expected to serve unless they were too young, too old, or a pastor. The Native Americans suffered the majority of the deaths during the war, many of them dying from starvation. Native Americans attacked 52 towns during the war, pillaging or stealing as much as they could from 25 of the towns and burning 17 towns to the ground. In turn, the New England colonists sold thousands of captured Native Americans into slavery in the Caribbean. The primary goal of the Native Americans was to stop or limit the spread of English colonists. For the English colonists, at first it was about protecting their land, but soon it turned into a war to eliminate Native Americans and open the way for colonists to get more land. The war lasted from 1675 to 1676 and eventually came to an end when the colonists, greater access to resources and the fact that the colonists outnumbered the Native Americans allowed them to take control of the war. Chief Metacomet was hunted down in a swamp in Rhode Island and was shot and killed by a Native American ally of the English colonists. He was killed, and then I apologize for being morbid here, but he was beheaded. And the colonists displayed his head at Plymouth Colony for the next 25 years as a warning to Native Americans. Although it took years for the New England colonies to recover from the war, and there will be other major ramifications from the war that I'll cover in other bell ringers, the war basically opened the way for English colonists to expand west with little to no opposition from Native Americans. So with that, hopefully you learned something, and thanks for watching.